Behold, my servant whom I uphold, my chosen in whom my soul delights. I have put my spirit on him. He will bring justice to the nations. He will not shout nor raise his voice, nor cause it to be heard in the street. He won't break a bruised reed. He won't quench a dimly burned wick. Hello, my friends. Do you prefer watching videos from Mr. Beast on YouTube? Or do you prefer calmer videos in the style of Bike Farmer and Camera Noob, which flow along a leisure pace? I'm currently learning how to bake bread myself and appreciate the calm and straightforward style of DIY videos that don't rely on a lot of technical bells and whistles. For me, the factual information in the video and the authenticity of the person in front of the camera are more important than any special effects. That's why I hardly ever use music myself and rarely any transitions, so back to the roots and back to the basics. The opening quote comes from Isaiah 42 and is entitled, "The Servant of God, the Light of the World." Christmas is drawing ever closer. On the third Sunday of Advent, we also follow Isaiah, who eagerly awaits the Messiah. In 4 poetic texts, the prophet reveals the future, which is a hopeful future because the Messiah is coming to this world. He dispels the darkness which I spoke about on the first Sunday of Advent. With him, God's kingdom of peace dawns on earth, which I spoke about last time. And today we learn that the Messiah comes not only to God's chosen people, Israel, but to all people. He will bring justice to the Gentiles. When we hear the words of prophets in the Old Testament, or even when we read the book of Revelation, they resemble a fantasy movie more than a news report. They are a prophetic vision of the future, more like a dream of the future than a realistic report of facts. Therefore, it is unfair to the prophets to use their visions in discussions with non-Christians to prove that the Bible is infallible, because Isaiah supposedly foresaw the birth of Jesus, the Messiah. But we are not talking about math here, where 1 + 1 = 2, but about the dimension of faith. What Isaiah hears or receives from God in faith is more likely poetry than a calculation with a fixed answer. To understand this poetry, we need an open heart, attuned to the same wavelength as the heart of the sender, the prophet, in order to grasp the message. And then faith arises, not from a loud self-righteous debate, but from the subtle and quiet nuances that a sensitive heart can hear. How tender it sounds when God speaks through his prophet of the coming Messiah. He will not cry out or shout, nor will his voice be heard in the streets. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out. The coming Messiah, not a man who always has to have the last word, not a charlatan or a windbag who intimidates his counterpart with rhetorical tricks, but one who can listen, one who is silent with you because he senses the hurt behind the other's silence. One who can wait and will not leave you alone. One who empathized with your suffering because he knows life. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out. When you are at your lowest point and emotionally drained, that's when you can truly understand these words. Then you will get a glimpse of what Jesus means for you. There is no room for pious church rules, no room for disapproving looks if you miss a service of Bible study, no room for pious self-righteousness and the need for self-promotion in the free church that drives you to burn out. No, Jesus is different. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and then learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11. I wish you a blessed third Sunday of Advent. See you soon. Bye.